person here. Denmark took over Sweden. Would you say Sweden was Bjorn again? That's just so stupid.
Being linked to Denmark like that, Bjorn, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, no, it's horrible. Hello everyone and welcome to yet another wonderful Wednesday in EU4 land with me, Björn, community manager for EU4, and Mordred, the community ambassador for EU4. Same thing basically. Hello Mordred, how you doing?
Hello, Bjorn. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sitting here, we, as you may or may not know, in the chat here, it said we released 1.33 today, or 1.33.2 to be more exact. But yeah, it's a 1.33 France update with a very misleading name of France because.
We get so many questions about this. Like, why did you pick France? Why didn't we pick France?
Yeah, I need to find that thread, that dev diary thread, where I think it's Alvaro, is it? That's trying to explain the whole reasoning. Well, it started as a joke and then it just stuck. So, yep, it's. That's why, like, the revolution. That's why I put the revolution on top here, because that's kind of Frenchy at least. So.
You can play as Napoleon in that, so I think that's about as close as we get.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just explained it, Nurgle. It has a reverse. It has stuff with the revolution. So yeah, we thought we're gonna start today's stream a little bit just by showing this. First of all, the very fancy splash screen created by Yali, our mastermind. Are we talking about successor states taking up the mantle of the Celestial Empire? That's like that sounds so fancy to me. So, well, basically, just in broad strikes, what's happening is like the revolution is supposedly more. Yeah, how to explain? How would you put it, Mordred? It's spreading.
It spreads more quickly.
Yeah.
So rather than it being concentrated in one country, which very often just loses it. The revolution will actually spread like a revolution and will be dangerous.
Yeah, revolution for everyone. And yeah, the Chinese Empire is now supposed to form a little bit more often because you didn't usually see the Chinese Empire in the EU4. It was because it's not
so much that. It's if Ming implodes, then it's more likely that some of the successor states will recreate Ming or recreate the Chinese Empire. So if, say, Wu splits out, Wu may actually start to integrate all the people around them and then reform Ming themselves.
Yep. And yeah, the AI, pretty self-explanatory. It had some issues with its budgeting and the advisor hiring, etc. in the past, and that should now be better, as well as a fort management, that it's should no longer, it should upgrade its forts, and it should... and it should now be placing it a bit more tactically, not just carpet sieging the lands with level 1 forts, etc. It should now make more sense. And yeah,
this is something I've been poking the developers around for a while. Is the forts AI was pretty poor, so they'll actually start putting forts in strategic locations. Most importantly, they'll actually upgrade forts now. Rather than, like you're saying, just level 1s. It's a lot better.
Yep. And obviously a big thing in here has been subject of a lot of discussion is modify land combat rules. With the again, you're much better at explaining these things than me, so just take the reins, more. I'm not even gonna I sound like a babbling buffoon when I.
So the big thing with the land combat is the fact that in combat, you have two rows. You have the front row and the back row. It used to be that the back row would fill up with infantry, cavalry, and artillery. No longer. So the front row is just going to be the infantry and the cavalry. The back row is just going to be artillery. Then everything else is in reserve. The big change here, outside of that, is the fact that artillery will now actually withdraw. So it used to be, as long as your front row didn't shatter, your back row is just there. Now they will start to suffer morale damage just like your front row will, and will withdraw. So if you're bringing in reinforcements, you want to make sure that those reinforcements also include artillery. That's the big thing here.
It was one of those changelogs that were so long that didn't even fit in one announcement on Steam, so I had to cut it off and like link to the forum. It's a big one. So go. You have the Nurgle kindly posted the link in chats, and you can also find it on the first page of the forum, and you can find it on the store page in Steam, etc. So go and read. There you have your bedtime reading. It's a beef one. So yeah. Enough about that. Let's get to the... I think we're fighting over the mouse again. Let's start the game and get going. So what we're doing here is we are going to continue a game. We're playing as Congo with the ultimate goal of taking Belgium. Yeah, that's what we're doing. And we are the great Congolese Catholic Empire of the Africas. And... yeah, we're slowly inching our way up through the continent to get there.
We are getting increasingly hungry and eating up all of our neighbors. So we just instigated a series of wars against some of the West African states over here. As you can see, this war is still ongoing. Just because we're trying to get more land so that we can eventually get to the West Coast and then use that, hopefully, as a springboard into the rather messy Western Europe and more specifically Belgium.
Yeah, what we had here was, what we learned last week was that France is in a PU under Portugal, who in turn is being massacred by Morocco, and Austria is fighting to take that over.
Yeah. So France managed to get a personal union over Castile, inherited Castile, only to then fall under a personal union under Portugal. It's like European politics right now. They're great.
And yeah, it's not the problem is that France is not really like, it's a thick France, but it's gonna be either Austrian France or Portuguese France. Kind of leaning towards Austrian France right now. That Austria is gonna be a bit of a roadblock on our path to Belgium, I feel.
Yeah, we may need to start making some friends with some of the others. So we've got two Sicilies who are quite a big contender. Teutons are doing quite well. Very, very thick Denmark up here. And maybe if we're going after the Austrians, maybe we have to make a deal with the Ottomans. So interesting times.
We might need to do some save editing on the save file, because I don't know if I can approve of that Denmark.
I don't know what you mean. What's wrong with this Denmark?
What an abomination.
I'm just zooming in on Stockholm. Apparently the Danes don't smell the sea.
The Dannebrog is flapping in the wind above Stockholm. It's terrible.
Our national titles have changed. We are now the Arch-Trappist because we're the brewers, and the Trappist monks are the brewing monks. Oh. So we are the Arch-Brewers.
Woo! Yeah, we're gonna go and teach us Belgians how to make proper beer. Not those chocolatey strawberry ones. Like, now we're going African beer here. It's what's I imagine, I never tried African beer, but I imagine there are.
I'm sure there are, but you're right. I don't think I've ever had one. Does anyone in chat know of any good African beers? I'm curious about this now.
Okay, Freaky has just he is he is leading the race for being giving name to our next person here. Denmark took over Sweden. Would you say Sweden was Bjorn again? That's just so stupid.
Being linked to Denmark like that, Bjorn, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, no, it's horrible. It itches. It creates... Oh, look at that. It looks like Romania is trying to ally us, but I assume it's not Romania. Kano?
That is in fact Kano. Because we are currently beating Kano up. Who is Kano? Kano is these guys, which we can't currently reach until we peace air out unless we make them into a vassal, which we could do. And I think that is actually what we were planning to do.
I think so. Like, well, the plan was to make everyone's vassal, wasn't it?
Pretty much. So yes, we can indeed vassalize Kano. That is going to make a couple of people around us upset, but quite frankly, my dear, I don't care.
Right, there was I'm completely lost today. It's like, ooh, they tried to ally us. No, it was a peace offer.
And Mali's still alive? Oh, go Mali. Well, alive in inverted commas.
Yeah, well, it's But who are the rebels? What's the goal of those rebels? Nobles, but
Noble rebels. That would be autonomy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there's
Anyway,
a lot of rebellions
against
going on.
these guys, we want to take that, and I guess just moving up this way. I mean, we may as well take as much from them as we can. This is a lot of aggressive expansion. Air, Songhai, Cannon Brno, Noop, Timbuktu, Boroman, Kong, Mali, Kano, and Tunis. So Tunis is the only one that would give me a bit of pause.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, Lady Magnus, if you send me some of that banana bread, you shall. I shall give you exposure. That's a deal here. Speaking of which, today's sponsor, I'm
I've been waiting for this.
Sadly, I don't actually have any candy today, but I have Satsumas. So today's stream is sponsored by the very generic non-brand of Satsuma's citrus fruits. It's very good though. Like, you should eat that. It's nature's candy, as they say. The fruit. Björn is easy to be bright. Yes, I am super.
It's just good business. Bribery is just good business.
Yeah. That's how I make money. And a living. My kids get to live out of solicitors. How do you say? Solitis? Well,
I don't know what it is you're trying to say, so I don't know.
It's like solitis. No, I can't speak to it. So many words have been dropping out of my head. I don't know what's going on. Probably I have not eaten enough Satsumas. That's probably the cause of my speech impediment today.
I would say that's a very fair guess.
When you are your tongue is not doing what you want it to be doing, then you have a Satsuma and you speak very well. Then you speak good. Good speak.
Tongue twisted?
You get good speaking eating Satsumas. Yeah, Björn Schulislo.
When I was streaming last week, I came across the weirdest tongue twister. One I just had not expected, and it's actually remarkably difficult to say. I'm just going to type this into chat, see if you can get it.
Prismatic plurality?
Yeah. See, I could not say that. I tried about 20 times. I could not get it. Prismatic plurality. There we go. I got it.
Prismatic plurality. I couldn't even say that.
I swear, the first time I came across that, I spent about half an hour just trying to say it.
Yep, Lady Magnus, can't you make those dogs, like the Saint Bernards that come with a little keg of brandy under the cheek? You can send Penny with a banana bread under it, and she just comes running. That would save me.
There we go. They have just unconditionally surrendered to us, so I'm going to take some money. Wait. That shouldn't be possible.
She's not allowed in the middle. That's just wrong. No, I guess you have to take consider.
I'm fairly sure that having a peace deal of 121% is not supposed to be possible.
I believe.
So I'm going to bring this down to 100 just because I like to play fair. So there we go. That should be possible. I'm going to send this demand. We are taking a huge chunk of territory.
Yep.
And we are now starting to spread into West Africa quite aggressively.
Core. And the proselytize.
And we'll send out the missionaries as well. And we can upgrade. Haha!
Ooh.
Are we about to become an empire? Yes, we are.
Ooh, the empire of... I've been calling us an empire for a while, but obviously we're not. We're now an empire!
A growing imperium.
What?
Sorry, just to go on with we're colonizing it back from the British. That is actually one of the things that Congo does. Their whole spiel here about modernized Congo, banish the Europeans. They basically get a casus belli on any European nation that's in Africa.
There are none, though. Wow. Oh, look at that,
yes,
Portugal. The mighty Portugal. How much is left of Portugal up there? Oh, they get...
They're under attack again by Brittany this time. Brittany, Aragon, the Pope, Kelra, and Breton Brazil.
Jesus. Okay, so what happened to France?
France is independent?
What? So Austria kind of fought a war to liberate them. That's
They
kind
must have got a new ruler, or Austria or Portugal lost their ruler, I would imagine.
Yeah. Strange things are afoot in the land of Portugal. Yep,
They're
I don't.
fighting against Brittany. Who's on their side? Portugal and Provence. Yeah, France is independent, allied to Avignon, Lorraine, and Switzerland.
Yeah, okay. Well, that took a turn. Fascinating. Let's see where that ends up. Well, we're gonna eat them anyway. That's actually pretty good that they are split up now, because when we get there, it could be a little annoying if Europe was just one country when we got there.
Oh, you know what? I should have given all of this land to Carno rather than holding it ourselves, because then they could core it. Oh well. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes are always made. Okay, so where are we on the tech business here?
On tech, that is a good question. We could tech up to Miltech 14, and there is no real reason not to. So yeah, let's do it.
Look at that. Now we can build
Boom.
level 4 forts. Level 4 forts.
And also African Hussars. What are they like? So we're going from the Abyssinian Barded Cavalry to the African Hussar. Good morale stuff. Shock is unchanged, and they actually have guns.
Ooh.
Light cavalry specializing in raiding and hit and run tactics.
I'm gonna miss our bards and horses, by the way. You never upgrade, you never changed the troop type, by the way. You just looked at it and never actually picked it.
That's because I just wanted to keep on looking at the Barded Cavalry. I mean, do you really want to lose them?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What? Now we have we can create states as well. Is that something we want to do? And we can send explorers. So much happening.
This out. And then I'm going to grab you and sort this out. Just to make sure that all of our land stays nice and secure. And then we can do states, because we are slowly but surely getting stuff cored. We can get some more states, which we'll do. And then we'll core everything that we can. And then we'll get more states.
More states.
And then we'll get more states, because we're an empire now and we don't really care about size. Although I should probably check that, because we are pretty huge.
We are big boys. What ideas is it trying to tease us with, I wonder?
I don't know. That would be diplomatic,
range.
so we could get extra colonial range. But quite honestly, we don't need it, and we're now 2 techs behind on Diplo, so I'd quite like to catch that up if we can. Because we are actually in Indonesia. This is something that I kind of clicked through, but we are, in fact, getting a colony here in Belitung, and also over here in Palu.
The spice must flow.
Spice must flow. See, these are the flavors for our new beers. It's important.
That is true. This is going to be such an international good beer. The Congolese brewing empire spreading its tentacles over the world.
Not just empire, brewing imperium. I love the fact it's just like, yeah, we're going all in on this brewing thing. It's too good not to.
And also we can shall we set out an explorer to explore the world for us?
Yes. For that we did have an explorer, then we can go explore. Where we go, we can see China.
Ooh. And yeah, that the globe turns out to be a little bigger than we initially thought. We expected to reach the east coast of Africa just a mere days after sailing out from the west coast, but it turns out it's not. A mystical
There's a
landmass.
little island here, but the rest of it, I'm sure if we set out a little bit further north, we would still go all the way around.
Yeah, I'm sure too. I suppose, obviously we're gonna run into China there, or India. That's what's gonna happen. Explore so fast. Stop exploring so fast, I say.
This guy is exploring like crazy quick at the moment. And here we go. Speaking of the new mechanics for Shattered Ming, that has basically happened.
Ooh.
So we'll see if with the new patch, these guys should start to attack each other to try to reform Ming again and basically have the rise of a new warlord. It looks like our rebel squashers are going to do that on their own, which is nice.
Crush them. Yeah, he didn't manage. Whoa. Hey,
Oh,
why do they have so many cardinals? Stupid France.
France has a crazy... Well, you want to know why France has so many cardinals? That's why France has so many cardinals.
We should have all the cardinals.
And actually taking a look at the Reformation, that is a strong Catholic Reformation.
Ooh, yeah, look at that. Wait,
somehow Chernigov became Protestant.
When does the Anglo Church usually? Anglican Church.
That should have triggered already, I think, 1598. Because Reformed is already there.
Yeah, but they're going Protestant. They skipped the Anglican Church, I guess. Interesting.
Looks that way. Triangle trade. Price of slaves goes up. That's absolutely terrible, except for the fact that it's going to make us a lot of money.
Oh man, I like that we're literally exporting slaves from our heartland, like the original Congo. That's what we're paying. We're not taking it from the conquered lands. We actually take it from our original lands, which is a weird decision to me. Why are we doing that, Mordred? Tell me why.
Because we're equal opportunity slavers.
That's true. We're very equal. Well. When can we ban slavery?
I think Golden Age of Piracy around then.
We should do that when we can, because we're good Christians.
We should, and it's also going to give us much better resources than slaves. Now, we are getting quite a few Diplo points. Do we want to spend that on something? Like development, probably. Actually, no, keep saving them, then we can go up in Diplotech.
Oh, yeah. But we're behind on admin as well. But
we are massively behind in admin, and I don't see that changing. That's why I've just upgraded this guy to level 3.
Yeah, we're we've been coring a lot.
We're in the position right now where if we have a problem, we can just throw ducats at it until it's not a problem anymore. But it's going to take a while. Acceptance of the Chinese. Efforts to integrate the Chinese into the state that rules them as born fruit now claim on the mandate of heaven is no longer... I know this is not us, but it's an interesting event. I've not seen this one. Like many of the foreign conquerors of China are seen over the centuries, Europe may never be seen as truly Chinese in origin, but it's truly the Empire of China. So Nanai, these guys up here are currently the mandate holders. Armies are still moving. What's our force limit nowadays? 106, so we could build some bigger armies if we needed to. The thing is, I'm not sure that we necessarily need to at the moment.
It's true. Save money. Save money to buy beer.
Build breweries to make more beer.
Yes. And also soldiers drink our beer. We don't want them to. We want the farmers that make beer for us, not soldiers that drink our beer. Because then it's less beer for us.
I am totally just prioritizing beer production right now.
Beer.
Our brewing Imperium needs more beer. We need another rival. Austria, France, or the Ottomans?
The what?
I'm thinking France, because we're going to have to attack France to get to Belgium, pretty much.
Yeah, let's go France. Also, we want their cardinals. Yeah.
Also true, and in fact, speaking of cardinals, we are maxed out here, so we should probably spend some points on something.
What of these decisions will best serve our beer production?
I mean, mercantilism means we keep more of the beer at home so we can drink it ourselves.
I like how you're thinking.
We could also get the new Pope brand beer.
Pope brand beer. Pope brand beer. Okay, how do we get the Pope brand beer?
By blessing our ruler.
Bless.
I don't know how that works, but it does.
Okay. Moral.
I mean, actually, we could probably do all of these. Yeah, we actually can. There are 45. So we're going to do all of those. Because we have lots of Pope points. Global trade.
Ooh.
It's been moving across continents since antiquity, but now there's more beer.
Yes, the beer will flow all across the globe now. We invented beer in the Congo. That's what we say.
That might actually be true. Apparently, the earliest form of farming was not for wheat, for flour. It was actually for hops to make beer, because it was the way of purifying water.
Call the beer tea. That's true. And then we knock out those British and Indians with it. Like, this is... What's that water and herb thing you do? Let's... here is a real... multi-monkey. That's also pretty good, but...
Multi-monkey's quite good.
The multi-monkey...
I feel like we need to take Malta to really make that one work, though. Otherwise, they might try to steal the brand, and that's not okay.
That's true.
Got to protect your brands.
Yeah, I'm not sure the copyright law enforcement is particularly strong in the 1600s. Oh, look at that! It just turned 1600. We entered a new century. Woohoo!
We did, and in fact, I got distracted because I wanted to see where global trade spawned.
M&M for sure.
Lucca. It is in Italy.
Lucca.
We're doomed. We're absolutely doomed. Britain has discovered tea.
Ah. Well, that's a casus belli if I ever saw one.
I was going to say, let's declare war on all of the red countries in the world. I was like, oh yeah, Denmark. I have a feeling Bjorn may support me in this.
Indeed. That Denmark... Oh, look at them. They keep on growing, aren't they?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, that's a big Denmark. Wow. They are like literally the largest country in the world, and it seemed to... Well, not... I just remember that we are probably bigger.
Well, let's take a look. So actually, France is the biggest with 749 development. We're just behind with 23 development behind. So we're at 726, and the Ottoman 611. Austria 581. Then actually a long way behind Austria is Denmark with 386.
I was thinking like actual area, like the aerial.
Oh yeah, geographically as opposed to development.
On the other hand, we do have the problem with the projection here, right? So
I wonder, can we start integrating one of our minions yet? My guess is probably.
No, this is not multiplayer. It's just AI Denmark going cray.
So who should we go for? Who's biggest? Kano? No, we just got them. Karangwe? Is it time for Karangwe to finally be absorbed?
I think so. Little Karangwe. Join the fold.
I think it is. So I'm going to spend a tiny bit of development on you to reduce your liberty desire. And that is enough for you to sell out. Annex vassal. Go.
And as a little added bonus, when you join the Congolese Empire, Emporium, is that you will...
Imperium.
Imperium.
Although Emporium also works, because that's a big shop.
Yeah. Imperium. So when you join the France, the Congolese brewing Imperium, you can actually... You get to invent one beer. So Karagwe Brew. Karagwe Lager?
Karagwe Craft.
Ooh. Weiss beer is banned though. I have put a divine ban on Weiss beer.
I would agree with you there. That stuff is horrible. Diplotech cost reduction. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, struggle with income. Yeah, money was usually a big problem for me too. I was starting to. I am better at money economics now. I'm not the superstar like I see some people making insane money, but yeah, go for just develop. That's usually like when the money is tight, you just spend some points developing and finding which ones are strongest for you.
Trade's also a big one.
Yeah, no,
we have looked at our trade for a long time.
But yeah, no, I'm thinking like kind of early game. Obviously, when you start to grow, but in the early game, it's hard to make a lot of money from trade. But yeah, spend some wonderful. It's always a good like. It's a bit expensive that you like. I like to go for my highest developed province, usually the capital, and try to get that 30 development city thingy going to tick up the age bonuses.
We can probably make more money if I transfer this guy from the Great Lakes. 4.67 ducats, 2.3. 5.71. One feeding into here now.
We have a. I just have noticed in the chat here that our brewing Imperium has initiated a big thing in the chat that pale has been removed from the non-permitted terms on the chat. Apparently it was banned. I don't want to go into it, but I can see why that might have been deemed necessary at some point. But yeah, now when we're into beer talk here, pale is obviously a very important term to be used. It's
pale ale is just one of those beer types. Just if you're not entirely sure what type of beers a place does, just ask for a pale ale, and you usually can't go wrong. And France just keeps on getting their cardinals. Blimey.
Yeah, Shigo, you need to keep your countrymen in check. And hello, by the way, Shigo.
Hello. Feel like we're making less money, but I think that's mostly just because I'm spending so much on advisors now. I mean, we're still rich. I can't really complain.
Ooh, we got the 1 minute call here, by the way, Modern. It's just 1 minute left.
I was just, keeping half an eye on the time, and this has flown by today.
What's the one on the right? Yeah, that's the notification right of the Explorer one is Defender of the Faith. And we can become Defender of the Faith.
Except that most of the Catholics in Europe, so we'd be called into European wars constantly.
Yeah,
okay, so superior unit type. We can get an upgrade. We can go for the North African, East African, Central African, or South African Musketeer.
I say we should go for Central because I feel we are Central African after all. So we should go for Central.
Central African have the best guns, and they have more balanced morale than South Africa. Yeah, sure. African warriors from the West, armed with muskets and possessing rather good defensive and offensive tactics.
We like them. Anywho, I'm afraid that's all the time we have for my crazy ramblings today, and Moderat's wonderful gameplay. that's how we divide labor here. I just ramble weird stuff, and Mordred actually plays. I haven't done, we played this how many hours now, and I don't think I've done anything. I haven't even touched a mouse. It's just Mordred.
We have just arrived in Australia, just FYI.
Yay!
I think we're the first, actually.
The Congolese Australia. Anywho, that's all the time we had today. I'm sorry I did not have any good sponsor deals, and I actually did not do any dad jokes today. Did you notice?
You did. You did one.
I did?
Earlier.
Which one?
Oh, no, it wasn't you. It was chat.
No, it was Freaky. It was me, Mr. Freaky, who pulled the dad jokes today. But yeah, okay, let's just force one in here. So, why do dads bring an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
I don't know. Why do dads bring an extra pair of socks to go golfing?
If they get a hole in one. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. There was a very few new names today. We only had one general. We didn't get to name many. But come back next Wednesday if you want a chance of becoming a character in our Congolese Imperium. Brewing Imperium. Thank you, Mordred, for playing with me today and listening to my stupidity for a while. And the same goes to you, chat. See you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.